my name is Carla and welcome back to Stay Stitching. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about two things. I'm going to be talking about my May makes and I'm going to be talking about this sewing machine right here. Now my May makes, I did a May plans video, and so you can go back and watch that. I'm going to tell you today what I did get done and what I didn't get finished with my May makes. But first let me introduce you to this beautiful girl right here. This is Mary, and I named her that because my mother-in-law is named Mary, and this machine, like my mother-in-law, is incredibly hardworking, easy to get along with, and never complains. And so I love this machine. This machine was born in 1910, and she is a Singer 127. Now she has a vibrating shuttle. These are the real cute ones. The bobbins look like this. So that's a bobbin. I have a little box of them. You can still buy these bobbins. Sometimes a machine will reject a newly made bobbin because it's just not exactly right compared to the ones that were made for her, you know, 108 years ago. And but most of the time they will just go ahead and wind on them just like usual. The bobbin winding is over here. I actually have a video of that. It is a very cool thing to watch, this machine wind this bobbin, because this thing right here, the bobbin goes in there to wind, and it goes back and forth like this along the length of that bobbin. And then down in here where the bobbin goes, it's a vibrating shuttle. Now under here, let's see if I can get this out. I should have gotten this out already. And I have this stupid Scentsy right here kind of in my way. Come on. I've taken this out a million times, but not on film. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. It's been a while since I've used her. There's a handy little button right there that you push down, right there, and that pops the bobbin up. This is the bobbin case, and it vibrates back and forth under the needle. The bobbin slides right in there. Now, you're wondering, is this machine in working order? Can you use it? Yes, I can use it, and I have used it. I've made, hi girly, come here. I've made a couple of pairs of pants, and I have made a couple of tops, maybe 3 tops on it, and she works beautifully. These machines were designed before the concept of manufactured obsolescence became popular, and I have a kitten here, half-grown kitten that was feral, and so she'll let us catch her sometimes when she's in the mood. If I can catch her, I'll show her to you. She wants my attention, but she's still a little afraid, even though she's been with us for like 4 months. But anyway, I can't, now I've got all distracted with what I was saying. But it does work, and it works beautifully. Oh, manufactured obsolescence. So these machines were designed to be repaired over and over and over again. They're solid steel. All of the components can be repaired, and for the most part, you can still buy all of the parts for this machine. These machines are beautiful machines, and I highly recommend them. If you were interested in vintage machines, I might not start with a vibrating shuttle machine because these also require a special needle. This is not your standard universal needle that you're going to put in your modern machines. This is a 314 needle. It is slightly different, and you can still buy them. They're more expensive than your regular Schmetz needles that you're going to buy, but by more expensive, I mean like $1 or $2 per needle, which really, it's not that big a deal. And to listen to this machine run and to watch it go is such a pleasure that it's worth it. Just kind of like, if you're a coffee snob, which I'm not, I'll drink anything. I don't think Starbucks is any better than McDonald's, personally. But so if you're a coffee snob, then you're willing to pay extra to go to a small privately owned coffee shop that makes really good coffee. If you love to sew, you might be willing to pay extra for needles for a very special machine. Now, this machine does not have reverse, and so you think, oh my goodness, how could you keep your seams stable? The stitches on these machines were so incredibly good that that was never a worry. I've never had a garment come apart that was made on this machine. And when you think about sewing, and a lot of, from what I understand, real like couture people don't necessarily backstitch at the beginning and end of every seam. So when you think about your seams, most of them are crossed by another seam. And if they aren't actually crossed by another seam, let's say a hem, then you could just drive over the very beginning of your hem, when you get to the end, just drive over that beginning part. Some people will turn the fabric around and secure stitches that way. Others will draw the top thread down to the bottom and tie it off. I don't do any of that. I just sew, and I know that my garments are not going to fall apart. So that's that. So as I said, she was born in 1910. She's 108 years old, and she runs like a house afire. These old machines have incredible punching power. If you're interested in making jeans or bags out of heavy canvas or duck cloth or whatever, all of these old machines, they will power through that like nothing, because there's no plastic in here, none. All right, so enough about my beautiful Mary here. Let's talk about my May makes. So May is the last month of the school year. I am an ESS teacher, special education teacher, and I'm no busier than other teachers, but our last month of school is very busy, okay? Behaviors are starting to show up, and it's just really busy. And so I just did not get a whole lot of sewing done in May. So here are the things that I planned to make. I planned to make this, and I did show this pattern, and I showed the fabric, and I did complete this. And I will wear it, I'll put it on and show you sometime. I'll give you a twirl. So I did complete this one. I made the one with this placket, and I like it a lot, and I actually plan to make this other one without the placket. This cotton and chalk pattern is called the Holiday Set, and I got this from a Simply Sewing magazine. It was one of my free patterns. You usually get about 2 patterns for every one of those magazines, and this is one of them that I did sew up, and I really liked that. And then the second garment that I got made, both of these were incredibly easy, required virtually no thought process, was this Simplicity 8419, and I made View A. And this is a Nicole Miller fabric from Joann's, and it's like a peach skin or a suede poly, I don't really know. It's very soft, and it's not even too uncomfortable, and I don't really enjoy wearing polyester, but it's not too bad. I bought it because I fell in love with the print. The colors are just divine. They're right up my alley, so that's why I bought it. And I thought if I made something flowy, that it wouldn't feel too hot or constricting, because I really do prefer cottons and linens and rayons. Those are my preferred fabric to sew with. So the one thing that I would do different, and I will make this again, I'll totally make one of these other views. Maybe I'll make all of them. I mean, it's kind of fun to buy a really beautiful piece of fabric just to throw on over whatever t-shirt you want, and just a pair of pants. I have a video at the end of my whole outfit, but I probably will make this again. One thing that the pattern gives you a choice on is whether or not you want to sew the sleeves closed. Well, I decided I would wear it one time, and then make up my mind. And I have worn it to work one time, and I am going to go ahead and come down, you know, to about here or whatever, and I am going to just tack these together. That's what the pattern says that you can do. I feel like that will keep it in place a little bit better. And as you'll see from the video later, Colorado, we're a breezy place here. And so just kind of keeping it on is a bit of a trial. But I highly recommend this pattern. I think this would be beautiful over a long column tank top dress, the simplest dress in black, and then wear this over it if you had some long jewelry and some nice shoes. That would be nice enough to wear to virtually anything that you're going to be going to for the summer. This brings a lot of drama, let's face it. So those are the two things that I actually did get done in May. This, I'm making view A, these pants right here. And I have made a couple of pairs of pants from another Simplicity pattern that is almost identical to these on this machine right here. And so that was one of the things that I made on Mary. And so I got these cut out in May, and I've got something in my eye. I got these cut out in May, and then yesterday, and I got them marked and everything. Yesterday, I finished all the seams. When I sew, I finish all my seams on my serger when everything is still flat. I like to do that because it's kind of fun to sit down at your serger and zip through all those seams without having to worry about, you know, catching your completed, essentially, garment in there. I do raise the knife when I do this, and I just finish all of those seams. And then, so as I construct the garment, the only finishing things I'm doing is I'm doing all my pressing, and then that's it. You know, there's nothing else to do. It's done. I don't have to go back when I'm finished with the garment and put in my seam finishes. They are already done. So I got all of my seams finished on my serger, and today, probably, I will sit down and complete these. This should be a pretty easy sew. I think the most time-consuming part is driving that elastic through the waistband, which, as we all know, is no fun whatsoever, but it's got to be done. So these will be done in the next day or two. This one, this is also from Simply Sewing Magazine. This is the Adele Dress, and it's a kimono sleeve dress with a nice skirt. It's got pleats here. You can do it. It's got these shorter sleeves, and you can make it this length or this cute little summer dress. Now, I would not make a dress that short. I don't have the legs for it, but I still think that is adorable. And I think for a woman with better legs than I have, I even think that's work appropriate. I don't think that's too short for work. With a pair of little flats, or if you know, teach in a casual place, you could wear a pair of white canvas tennies with that dress. I would do that at work. I've worn my cons with a skirt. I've worn Supergas with skirts. You know, as long as you've got your hair and makeup all done, you can kind of get away with anything. And we're not too fancy here in Colorado. We're not fancy at all. So I was worried about making this because I had that terrible failure with that vintage dress. And I have decided to go ahead and try this. I don't want the whole kimono sleeve thing to get the best of me. I want to figure out how to make it fit me. And I know now that I need to make them smaller up top and maybe add some room in the sleeves, and then the rest will be okay from there. So I do plan on making that. This was my 5th pattern for May, and I was also afraid to make this one. This one is a huge fabric hog. The long dress, if you make the full length dress of this one, this takes 4 yards of fabric. And so I wasn't really willing to cut into this when I was so afraid of what it might turn out like after my vintage dress, the purple one with the cherries on it. But I am going to make this. I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to make sure that there's room where I need to have room and that it's fitted where it needs to be fitted. This is a very similar dress to that. And so I am going to make that in June probably. And since I'm home for the summer, I should be able to get a lot more done in the month of June than I did in the month of May. And that is all I have for you today. I am going to be increasing my number of videos per week while I'm in the summertime, because during the school year, one a week is about all I would ever have time for on a regular basis. And so I will be posting more videos. If you have any questions, I'm not an expert. I know a lot about vintage machines, but I'm not like an expert. But my husband and I have spent a lot of time in, research working on these machines. If you have any questions about an old machine, I'll do my best to answer them. But what I will tell you, where I learned most of everything that I know, is from a Facebook group called Vintage Sewing Machines. And I believe that the world's experts on vintage sewing machines are located in that board. There is someone that can answer any question that you have, and I mean any question. The one thing I would warn you about is that they are very strict about their rules. Those moderators are very strict. I got kicked out one time, and I am not like a volatile or troublemaking person. And I had to call one of the moderators who was in Tennessee or something and talk to her on the phone and literally beg my way back in, because I really need the expertise to help work on those machines. So if you join that, and I do recommend it, make sure that you read the rules and follow them, or they will boot you out faster than you can say boot. So I hope you're having a fantastic June. We are. We did some yoga outside yesterday, and it was beautiful, laying underneath the trees and looking up at them and watching them, wiggle in the breeze. And I don't know what all we're going to get accomplished today, but summer in Colorado, second to none, I think, you guys. You guys have a great day. Thank you to all my new subscribers. If you like what you see, please subscribe or give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or would like me to do any special video, please let me know. I do have a video in the works on how to deal with rayon. Someone asked me about that. I'm no expert, but I'm making a video on how I deal with it, and maybe there'll be something in there that will be helpful for you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.